Hi, it's Cameron Reynolds, and it's garlic planting time here in Tennessee. Beekeeping season's over, but there's other things to do. This is my favorite crop. It's one of the easiest to grow. It's delicious, especially when it's homegrown. And with just a few simple tricks, you're planting garlic in the time of the year where most people don't grow anything. So we are in the middle of November. I've planted garlic as late as the second or third week of December and had wonderful results here in Tennessee. So you'll need to adjust a few things accordingly to your state, but garlic is a very forgiving crop and has been used for thousands of years as not only a delicious addition to your food, but also as medicine in some cultures. All right, so we've got our bed prepped here, and we'll talk about that a little bit after we get through the garlic pointers. But soil fertility, of course, helps everything. Now, this is nice loose soil that we've worked on for the last 4 years or so. And it really didn't take a whole lot of work to do it, but it really helps our plants just do phenomenal because it's so loose. It helps those bulbs expand as they're growing because there's not a lot of resistance. It also helps their roots be able to penetrate deep into the soil and spread on out. So in a bed like this, you can kind of see where I have 4 lines right here. I'm going to have 4 rows throughout this bed. This is a 16-foot bed. And I am going to be able to, it's 4 feet wide, I'll easily be able to have 120 cloves planted in this, which will translate into bulbs down the road. That's a lot of garlic. And we started off originally with just purchasing some of this from a supply. And look, I mean, just look at that clove right there, how healthy these cloves are right here. They're just absolutely gorgeous and they're large. This is about as small as I ever get them with this variety. And this variety is called Music. You can get it at Johnny Select Seeds. And I have been really impressed with this variety. We've tried multiple other types, but I like this one because it makes really good plants because they have so much energy in the bulb when you plant them. And also, when you're wanting to cook with garlic, instead of having to peel 3 or 4 of these things to get this mass, you end up with just 1 or maybe 2 of this variety's cloves, and you end up with a very easy cooking situation. So one thing I want to point out on these is check out the bottom right here. You can see these little root nodules at the bottom. You definitely need to make sure that they are going down. If not, you're going to really set your plant back before it even starts. As if you have it going sideways, then the roots are going to have to go this way and then go down. Shoot does the same thing. It's got to go up. It'll survive like that, but it won't do near as good. We want them facing the correct direction and going up and down in the right manner. Of course, if you plant it upside down, then you're doing your plant a huge disservice. So that one's pretty easy, but just make sure that you plant them correctly. Now, what about soil or plant depth? I like about 2 inches on mine, give or take. Tennessee is a very mild state, so if you're further up north, you really need to consult your local ag agency or someone that has experience, because in some places it's better to have them planted 3, 4, even 5 inches deep. But in areas like mine or further south, having a good inch above them or 2 inches is about what is recommended around here. So I plant mine about a foot apart from one row from the next, so I have 4 rows in here. And then now within the row, I'm going to plant them starting about 6 inches from the edge. I'm going to go another 6 inches and all the way down 6 inches. So that is a lot of garlic. But we go through a lot, and we also save back every year garlic bulbs that we don't eat. And so the initial investment has just sustained us long term. And we rotate our beds every year. The garlic does not stay in the same bed every year. That's really important with any crop. It just helps maintain fertility. It also helps to discourage any disease buildup. Garlic doesn't have a lot of pest or disease problems, but over long periods of time you can deplete your soil on the essential stuff that your garlic needs, and also some root diseases or bulb diseases can develop if you keep planting over and over again in the same spot. So it's just not wise to do that. So there's the planting spacing. It's very simple. I don't even measure my beds out. I even used my hand to make that trench right there because the soil is so loose. A hoe would work. You can get a measuring stick and get really fancy. Garlic is very forgiving. Now this garlic is going to be shooting up its shoots here in January, so not far from now. We are going to have garlic plants shooting up here. They're going to be gorgeous. We'll show some videos of that, and you can come back and mulch them. There won't be any weeds growing that time of the year, but once they get about 2 or 3 inches tall, you can come back with wood chips or straw or something like that. Don't get anything that's really soppy or matted, and definitely don't be throwing a bunch of strong manure or something that has a lot of ammonia. You can use some cow manure, but it needs to be cut with a little bit of carbon, in my opinion. So like some dairy cow manure or bull manure or just whatever. Get that from your fields if you have it, and cut that with some wood chips or some straw. Just apply a little layer around them, and then put an extra layer of straw or wood chips, and the garlic will continue to grow through that and the weeds can't. I also like giving my plants some fertilizer. You can get some fertilizer from even Lowe's or Walmart these days. You can get it online at Amazon. Something around like a 3-4-3, 3-4-4, somewhere around that NPK. It's really just something to smooth the transitions of the season out. Maybe when the weather's not so good, that fertilizer just helps keep the plants going forward, which is very important with every creature and every plant. Just keeping that forward momentum. So I like to apply fertilizer here sometime in March, and then I'm going to apply it again at the end of April, just small dosages. And then I'm going to harvest these at the end of May, first week of June, before the cloves naturally start splitting and making new plants. And it's just a very simple crop. Soil fertility is important. We've spent several years keeping this bed loose. We don't use a tiller or anything like that. That's very important as well, because soil needs to stay as much as possible undisturbed. You have certain minerals and parts of the soil that rise to the top part. You have the subsoil that separates out. Every time you mix that, you're killing so much. You're losing so much energy, and you're setting your soil back years. I know sometimes you just got to do that, so that's all right. That's why we used to do it. But these days, we just use a shovel and kind of stick it down in here and just loosen it up just a little bit every year. We really don't want to flip the soil much. And we also use calcium carbonate, which is high calcium lime, CaCO3, sorry, and just help get in here and loosen the soil up, supplying calcium, all that kind of stuff. The garlic's pretty easy to grow. Just go through here and just start dropping your garlic cloves this winter, and if you don't even have any yet, there's still plenty of time. So if you're thinking about doing garlic, even if you just have a small little plot, get you some garlic. Try it out. I think you're going to like it. It's delicious when it's homegrown. Thanks for watching this video.